next level.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parra, Editor-in-Chief of Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. Today, I am taking center stage on the Own It magazine and publishing platform with one of our amazing contributing writers. Let me go ahead and bring him on in. Very familiar face. What's going on, Jeffrey E. Berger?
Hey, Coach Tiffany. How's it going?
Jeff, oh my goodness, it's always so great to have you on the show.
It's always a pleasure to share the stage with you.
Oh, thank you so much. So for those that have not ever met you before, please just take a moment to introduce yourself, let them know who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you do, please.
Sure. So I'm Jeff Berger. I live in Cape Coral, Florida with my husband, Joshua. Actually, we'll be celebrating our wedding anniversary tomorrow. It'll be 13 years, and we're together 18 years.
Wow.
Oh, it's 19 years. 19 years. And with our 2 kids, our soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, Zorro, and then a black cat. I'm getting them all mixed up. I only got 2. Zoe is the soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. Zorro is the black cat. And we just lost Zelda just a couple of weeks ago. So she was the baby sister. But so we're down here in Florida from Western New York. And we'll be down here. This is our 8th year. And I am the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness, where I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially.
Absolutely. It all runs hand in hand. I just love it. I just love hearing you say it. You know, that is that's my motto as well. It's everything, mind, body, spirit, finances, all of it. If one is broken, eventually all of them will trickle and break as well. So you got to find that balance in each and every one. So
Absolutely.
So what was the reason why you started the Abundance and Optimum Wellness?
So that's a really great question. It kind of goes back to when I was formulating and thinking about a name. I was actually diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, really pre-diabetes in my early 40s. Mm-hmm. So I tried to, do what the doctors say. And I ended up getting on to my first medication, then my second medication, my 4th medication, my 5th medication. And my health was not doing well. And I mentioned in a previous interview that I left corporate America in 2015. But in 2018 is when that was kind of formulated, because I was exploring holistic options. My doctor wanted to put me onto a 6th medication. And I'm like, no. Something's wrong with this picture. I thought medications were supposed to help us. No, they're not. And I discovered that through my own journey, and which is why I formed this Abundance and Optimum Wellness, because thinking back on, really going back to the 70s up to today, 60s, 70s, when I was a kid, there were more healthy people back then.
Right.
Today there's chronic illness from children to teens to 20s, 30s, 40s, and all the way up. And I see this projection of, continuing to be ill. The bottom line is we're in a system where it's all about managing illness and not managing wellness, taking a proactive approach to getting to the root cause. What is causing all of this? And so that was the start of my exploration of Abundance and Optimum Wellness, because I actually did a what is it, a CD recording, and the title of the CD was Abundance.
Uh-huh.
And my recording was it was a meditation about the microbiome. And I learned about the microbiome and the significance it has from the gut, brain, heart axis, and what role it plays to your overall well-being, and how critical it is to learn about this system, because you only have one body temple, and it's your responsibility to take care of it to the best of your ability. But I found that Western medicine was destroying it, and that's all they care about are the medications and not getting people well. So that's, those are some of the nuggets that got me to, start the company as my business model. Plus, it added to the fact of, when I was working in corporate America for 27 odd years, I always wanted to do something and have an impact when I left the world. But working in corporate America, filling their pockets, was not doing it. And this was an answer to me to say, I could potentially do some good here. So,
Yes. And I mean, and you just kind of see that with a lot of the medications out there, they tend to mask things. They don't fix the problem. And that's what it's all about, is figuring out like the root cause of it, so you can actually get to that. So I just that you did that research to get that done. So you have so you just said you came off of 5 medications.
Correct.
5 medications. Wow. And you've been pharmaceutical free since August 2019?
Correct.
Wow. So how has that made you just feel like just how has that transformation been for you?
So it's really been very powerful transformation. I think back to when I got started on the meds, and then kind of going through my 40s, my 50s, into my 60s, and how year after year after year, as they keep adding more medications, I was just dulled. And when I chose to explore holistic, that's when my whole world changed. And my doctor at that point said, well, you have to go on this medication because you have to stay on medications for the rest of your life. And I'm like, wait, you're leading me down the same path as my father, who was type 2 diabetic, he had heart disease, had a leg amputation, and he died at 70 with taking 12 medications a day. And I'm like, that's the path you're leading me on. So when I started my protocol, which was a holistic plant-based protocol that focuses on gut health, I learned what's really out there. We have poisons in our food. We have chemical preservatives, and obviously we have chemicals in the air. It's all over the place. Our cleaning supplies, so forth and so on. But when I learned what you put in your body is what you read, and these preservatives are eating away at your body temple microscopically.
Yeah.
And that is what ends up causing all of this illness with sugar raises, and I could go on with a plethora, because it's amazing. Every year or two, there's like 10 new diseases. So and I'm sure I haven't done that much research on it, but I'm sure it's with the new chemicals that are being put into foods today. And and people are just, and I don't like to say just, people are not aware, and people are not informed, because it's not allowed. You see all these TV commercials about Kellogg's cereals and all these foods that are healthy and good for you. Well, no, they don't tell you what kind of chemicals are in them. And when you look up the chemical, what are the side effects of the chemicals? People don't do that. I was there. I know. I mean, I ate all that stuff too, fast foods, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just blessed that I opened my mind. I was open to exploring other options.
Right.
And 3 months after I came off of all those meds, that doctor took me to her office. Wow. So, and we know why. I wasn't a paying pharmaceutical, customer of hers.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these doctors are locked into a system of corruption, of slowly unaliving, people at a very slow rate, and it's really sad to see that this is an accepted practice
Right.
in our medical system today. And going holistic really allows you more leeway because there's no control under the existing medical system. However, there is some control. That unfortunately, that there are some mishaps that are going on with those people that are in the holistic world, and it's really sad to see that it's all about money.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the society today, of course. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's about
So
power
you
and money.
exactly right. So you have gone, you've taken a step to, kind of educate people a little bit more on, some of the holistic ways of life. You have an ebook, How to Eliminate Stress Without Our Exes, which is amazing. So share a little bit about that, please.
Sure. So, in August, I basically I lost in a 9-month period. I lost 60 pounds. I came off of the 5 medications. I reduced stress, anxiety, and depression. That was at a 10 plus for decades, down to a level 1, and pretty much has been that way since August. Yeah, we all get stressed out, but it's a matter of how do you manage that stress and what do you do with it.
Right.
What I've learned, and I was a reactor. I was sometimes a volatile reactor,
Hmm.
but today I take a step back and saying, okay, I'm stressed. What is it? Why is this stress coming on to me? What am I supposed to do with it? What am I supposed to learn? What am I supposed to share with it? Moving forward. So I've taken that approach to um, being more analytical, which is part of my software engineering, being
Yeah.
analytical. So that comes into play. But the book really, I let's see, I'm trying to think. It was February of maybe it was oh my gosh, 21,
Hmm.
21, 22. I said I've got to do something to just provide some free information to people. So the ebook basically talks about my story because I am a survivor of childhood molestation, chemical dependency, 2
Mm.
attempted suicides. So
Oh,
that plays into my journey.
right.
And during that journey, I did research on pharmaceuticals and the pharmaceuticals that are supposed to take care of our anxiety, our depression, so forth and so on. Um, has side effects. I looked up all the side effects, and it's
Hmm.
like, oh, well, all of these medications, what are their side effects? Causes more depression, causes more anxiety.
Right.
Suicidal idealization
Yeah.
is brought into this. It's like, well, wait a minute, you're trying to fix the problem, you're not getting to the root cause. So, but the plants and the protocols that I've been on from a gut health perspective,
Yeah.
they do the same thing
Hmm.
without side effects. All right.
Yeah.
So I correlate. Here's the pharmaceuticals. This is what they do. This is what they're supposed to do. And here are the side effects. And here are plant-based protocols that do the same thing with no side
Mhm.
effects. Bottom line is plants were put here for a reason,
Right.
and we need to get back to that ancient Chinese Ayurvedic medicine because we didn't have pharmaceuticals back in those days. It was all
Right.
plants. And plants have their own chemicals, God given chemicals in them that
Yes.
will benefit from, healing, getting to the root cause and repairing the damage and getting it back to the state that it was supposed to. So, and
Right.
that book's just it shares that journey and the story of the pharmaceutical industry. And the pharmaceutical industry was developed by an oil tycoon, and
Wow.
petroleum is a huge byproduct of pharmaceuticals today. It's all about the boom 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 boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to share an image of the ebook here so you all can grab that. Let me go ahead and just share. So here we go. So how to eliminate stress without our exes. Scan to get your free copy. This information is absolutely amazing. I have this already myself. And yeah, there's some great stuff in there. So definitely tap in and learn how to just, be able to live a life of just wonderfulness
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
all of the chemicals and things like that. Like Jeffrey said, plants have a reason for being here. They all have a purpose. And we just have to just do a little bit of research and stop
Right.
listening to, I guess the masses sometimes when it comes to, oh yeah, just take this. No, no, there is another way, especially if you want to preserve your body for the long run. So
Yeah, and the other thing too, Tiffany, is those of us. Well, I'm going to say me because I'm approaching. I'll be 70 next month, but I reflected on the years. When I was a kid up to today, and back when I was a young kid and a teenager's doctor spent more time with you and kind of really evaluated with you. But today, you walk into the doctor's office and you tell them what's going on, and they go for that little green book. Okay, what pharmaceutical can I give you?
mm-hmm.
And there's no doctor patient. It's get them in. You got 5 minutes with the patient, and then you're on to the next one. So it's a pill mill,
Yeah.
and and they're expected to bring in certain types of revenue,
Yeah.
and it's done by pharmaceuticals. It's done by unwarranted surgeries
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
do your due diligence and get a second or even a third opinion.
Third, even if you got to go to a fourth,
Yeah,
what you have to do.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
They wanted to do back. They wanted to do surgery on my back when I fractured my back.
Yeah.
In another story, when I was in New York City, and they wanted to do surgery. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Mm-mm.
I want to do some research on that.
Yeah.
And today I had no surgery, and the more people that I talked to in the industry that had surgeries on their back, they're never
Yeah.
the same.
Never the same. Some are in wheelchairs, things like that. I mean, I have relatives that have had surgeries on their back. I was told, you know what, you probably should have surgery. Then I went for a second opinion, and just him looking at the image, yes, he would say, you know what, you need surgery. But me moving the way I do because of the fact that I have incorporated holistic practices in my,
Mhm.
daily routine,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like, this doesn't match. What's
Right.
going on here?
Right. Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
definitely, I mean, our bodies regenerate every 7 years. We get to start all over again, y'all, every 7 years. And it's how whatever you put in your body and however you treat your body now is going to be what is reflected in that 7 years. So
Absolutely.
definitely want to look at that for sure. So, Jeffrey, in July of 2022, there was another addition that you added to your brand as a holistic coach. So, what was that addition that you added in?
So it's a finance first approach. And with my abundance and optimum wellness during my TV series, and when I was coaching with people, the focus was the gut, brain, heart, access, health, and the microbiome. And I always talked about living a life of abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And I had
Mhm.
all of these, but I didn't have the financial part. And in July of 2022, I was introduced to a potential financial resolution. And I'm very transparent that I say that between 9/11 and 2008, I lost over 900,000 in my retirement portfolio. And because of 9/11 and in 2008, there was a real estate crash.
Yep.
So I lost a lot of money in that. And then it was very, over the next 10 to 15 years, it was very difficult to replace that.
Hmm.
And my 401ks were turning into 101ks, and one actually turned into a 0K.
Mm.
So and then in 2022, we lost another $75,000 in our portfolio. I'm like, something's got to change, please, please, please. And I'm, praying, praying, praying. Put me in front of something or someone or whatever to see the possibility. So with that, I was introduced. I was skeptical, but I wasn't cynical. And I stepped away from the Western medical system, went holistic, and now looking at the finances, I stepped away from a broken and corrupt financial system, because those systems are developed by the people here, which is 10 to 20, whatever. But then the masses are in this system, and these are the ones who are suffering, and they're not. They're living high off the hog. So, and that's centralized, and it's all about teaching about decentralization. And decentralization is taking away the power and the control from centralized programs and services and bringing them to another side where you have more control over your own destiny. So, we liquidated our 401ks after months and months of serious discussions, and we took a low six-figure retirement portfolio, which really meant that we would not be able to retire. We would have to work for the rest of our lives. And we have turned that into, after 2 years, it's approaching, it's in the low seven figures. And I would say in 3 to 5 years, with the 4 different portfolios that we're in, it will hit the low 8 figures. So it's a matter of understanding where is the industry going, because there's technologies that are happening today that are going to change what kind of investments and what kind of opportunities are 3 to 5 to 10 years plus down the road. Right. And I look at this and share the information about, back in the days when Amazon started out as a little book club. You got Netflix, you've got Apple, all these companies started in their own industry, if you will. And where are they today? And this particular program that I'm educating people about is all about real estate. And it's real estate digital ownership. The way we invest in real estate has started to change today, and it will be completely changed down the road. And it's a matter of being an early bird, because the early bird always gets the biggest worms.
Always.
So yeah. So, so that's the change, because bottom line is finances are the number one stressor globally. And today I'm no longer worried about our finances. And I'm excited about the potential that's going to be happening, over the next 3 to 5 years.
Yes. So Jeffrey, if anyone wants to get in contact with you to learn more about what you're doing, how can they get in contact with you?
I would say the best place is to get in contact with me on LinkedIn. Just look for The Bald Dude. All of my social media, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. It's Jeffrey E. Berger. I think it's TikTok is Jeffrey.E.Berger. And searching on all those platforms, just look for Jeffrey E. Berger. You'll see the bald head, and there I am. And that's where you can get in touch with me. I do workshops, free workshops, to get people educated in regards to this. So that I can share with you when you reach out to me on those different platforms.
Awesome. Very good. So everybody definitely tap into for sure. So Jeffrey, I tell you, every time we get on, the time goes like that. But we will definitely be having you on once again, because you've got twice. No, look, we're gonna have you on. You're here. Like, you've been on our covers. Like, you're about to be on our covers like a 4th time.
Yeah.
Jeffrey ain't going nowhere. Yeah. Okay, God willing. So I want to just thank you so much for being a part of the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics family. Thank you for being just my friend, my confidant. And you have inspired me to do so many amazing things out there as well. So I truly appreciate you. I want to thank you for joining us. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us and learning a little bit more about what Jeffrey does and what he can offer you all to get physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, on the other side of things. If you want to level up, come on and level up, because guess what? It's your life. and it's time for you to own it. All right, everyone, take care, and we will see you next time.
See ya.